crafty friends and Flosstube family. Happy Friday. Welcome to Flosstube. My name is Jessie and this is Mislaid Pages. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. So happy to see you. It's been a couple of weeks. I had to take a couple of weeks off unexpectedly. We had a family member who was in very poor health. So we basically had to make a very unexpected trip to go see family. And yeah, I'm not going to get into a lot of details here, but that's the gist of it. Taking care of family, basically. And things are still kind of up in the air at the moment because of family, but also because of vacation. So I wanted to make sure I got a floss tube to you today. It's January. It's July 2nd. Wow, let's not go back to January. Anyway, so it's July 2nd, and I wanted to make sure that I dropped in for an update. I'm hoping to have some extra videos for you next week. I won't have a regular floss tube. I won't be able to film that next week, and I'm probably not going to have any stitching to show you anyway. So I will have something for you on Friday next week, and yeah. So I've filmed some extra videos. I'm hoping to film some more extra videos, so that there will still be plenty for you to see next week while I am not able to film, and then I'll fill you in on all the rest of it when I get back the following week. So yeah, if you're over on Patreon, I have been doing vlogs, so there's a little bit more information there. But yeah, so that's where we're at right now. I cannot believe that it's July already. Can y'all believe it's July? So yeah, officially Pride Month is over. Officially. But Pride Month is not over for me yet. I've decided I'm not done with Pride Month. So July will be Pride Month Part 2. For a lot of different reasons, partly because I didn't get in all the things that I wanted to get in June, but also because Pride should not be limited to 1 month. So Pride is an everyday, all year long thing. And for me, July, for a lot of folks in the States, I should say, July is a very patriotic month. That's where a lot of folks will do patriotic stitching and, that kind of thing. I've never been super into the traditional patriotic stitching. So I'm going to kind of flip the script a little bit, and we're going to do Pride-triotic stitching in July. That's what I've decided. So Pride-triotic, just means we're going to keep stitching rainbows, y'all. It's all about the rainbows. So yeah, a couple of things, I'll get into it shortly when I talk about plans and intentions, but yeah, so I'm gonna be picking up a couple of things that I didn't get a chance to start or finish in June, and I'm gonna have a focus on not Independence Day and traditional patriotic stuff, but more on recognizing folks that might not celebrate Independence Day on July 4th. So I have a lot of thoughts about that. I haven't really put my thoughts together yet, which is unfortunate because July 4th is Sunday. But I think from here on out, my celebration of July 4th is going to be different. So yeah, I have some thoughts. I will share those with you when I have fleshed them out a bit better. I'm fuzzy headed this morning. I'm tired and trying to get a whole bunch of stuff done in a very little amount of time. So that's where we are. But yeah, so I'll talk more about this later this month, when things have settled down a little bit and my brain is together, but essentially, yeah, July is going to be Pride-triotic stitching, and yeah. Let's see what I've been watching, what I've been listening to, because I haven't done this in a while, because I wasn't sure y'all were interested, if that was even a thing that anybody cared about, but haven't been listening to much lately, but I probably will be listening to something next week, maybe a whole book even. And I think what I'm going to do is listen to The Bone Witch. I forget the author's full name. It's Rin something or other. But this is a book that I talked about not too long ago that I got the recommendation from Quotes and Stitches, or there's somebody I follow on Instagram, and she does these fantastic summaries of books that she's read, and she has a focus on representation in literature, and that's representation of different races and ethnicities, but also different sexualities and gender presentations and things like that. So I really appreciate her recommendations and her reviews of books, because she gives me a great idea of the kinds of representation I might see in that particular story, and that's fantastic. So I already have the Bone Witch downloaded. I started to listen to it the other day, but my brain was not in a listening mode, or at least not in a literary listening mode. So I probably will be listening to that next week, though, during traveling. So, so that will be coming up. What I've been watching, I've been just mainlining Bones, reruns of Bones. So, and I can't remember how I came to this, but I basically got to the point where I finished up all of the things that I was interested in watching. So I finally watched all of Lucifer, and I finally watched, I watched Sweet Tooth, the entire season that's available for Sweet Tooth, and a couple other things, and I was in a show hole. I didn't have anything to watch, and I was like, well, let me check back in with Bones, because it's been a long time. I've never rewatched Bones. I watched it not religiously. What is a different word for that? I watched it fastidiously. I was right on top of it when it was airing. The entire time it was airing, I followed it very, very closely when it was originally on, but I never have gone back to watch the series. So I decided it's been long enough. Let me check this out. Let me see how much of this I remember. And I'm at that really sweet spot where the show is familiar enough, the characters are endeared enough to me that I'm very connected to the show, emotionally to the characters and things like that. But it's been a long enough time that I've forgotten a lot of the major plot points. So I'm constantly getting new stimulus, basically, because I forgot that this story ended that way, or I forgot that this is how that story arc twisted around, or I forgot that character completely. So it's been really nice, being reintroduced to the characters that I already had so much connection to. So it's hard to describe how I feel when I watch it, but I keep going back to Bones and not trying to find anything else, because it's comforting in a sort of way, because it's familiar, but it's also, I've forgotten enough of it that it's newish. So it's that really delicate balance of familiarity and comfort, and just coziness with the story and the characters and the content, but also the newness of not remembering how the stories go. So that's what I've been watching. That's like the only thing I've been watching. Luna's going to join us again, because apparently Luna is now my video cat. If you didn't see Nickcast, Luna makes quite an appearance in Nickcast this past week. Luna, what are you doing? But I don't have the camera set up so that you can easily see her. She is just off camera. But she's going to be all in the middle of the stuff that I have laid out. So yeah, so that's what I'm listening to. That's what I'm watching. I'll probably just keep watching Bones until I get to the end of the series. And I will say one thing that the main thing that I loved about the series when it came out, and spoiler warning if you've never watched Bones, the one thing that I really loved about the series as it went on was that it was one of the only times that I've seen a show or read a book or anything, movie, whatever, where the main characters have a significant will they, won't they aspect to their story arc. They're attracted to each other, but for various reasons, they don't get together, or it takes them a really long time to get together. It's the only story of that type where the characters get together and the show doesn't completely fall apart. Because what happens in a lot of these types of stories is that all of the tension, all of the interest in the story revolves around this love interest and the anxiety and tension and everything that surrounds the question of whether they will get together, whether they're finally going to, have that unrequited love become requited, whether they're going to connect. And usually, once the characters do connect, the entire show falls apart. The story falls apart. There's nothing interesting happening because all of the narrative tension, all of the tension is just gone. Because that was the thing. That was the central point. Bones has always had so much other stuff going on that even when Bones and Booth finally get together, it actually just it deepens the show. It creates a new path forward. It doesn't destroy it. Now we no longer have that will they won't they, but it's okay because the show it's like the show grows up, almost. That's not quite the right. It matures, I guess, is a little bit. So it's like it was really great before, but now it's fuller somehow for the fact that they're together, and it continued to be a very interesting show even after they got together, which almost never happens. So it's one of the things that I'm really anxious to see happen again. And I think part of the reason it's so successful is because their romantic entanglement is very different than a lot of the ones that we see on television and stuff. It's based in reality. I won't say it's completely based in reality because television is never completely based in reality, but I think it's a more realistic push and pull than we see in a lot of romantic scenarios. So anyway, that's my cerebral version of Bones for you. So let's get into it. I have a bunch of stuff to show you because it's been a couple weeks. I don't have a ton of whips, but I do have some whips, and I'll talk about plans going forward and all the regular stuff. But let's start with some happy mail. So I have my latest Kate, and I also have my TLT cup. And so let's start with latest Kate, just because it's flat and it's easy to get to. So the latest Kate is an artist, and she deals with anxiety and depression, and so she uses her art as a platform to help others deal with their anxiety and depression. So if you have never seen the latest Kate before, she is on Instagram, she's on Facebook, she's on Patreon. If you join her Patreon, you can get stickers and prints and things like that. So I am a supporter of her at the level where I get 2 5x7 prints and a magnet every month. And I love these. They're always amazing. So let's go with the magnet first. So this says, I'm going to try to hold it where you can actually see it. The camera doesn't focus as far as I would like. So, no negativity today. You're getting work done. So it's a busy little bee. You can see. Busy little bee. No negativity today. You're getting work done. This is one that I need to put this like on my forehead. I have a tendency to focus on the things that I haven't accomplished versus the things that I have. I'm really going to have to start doing reverse to-do lists. And instead of listing out all the things that I feel like I need to get done, I need to list out all the things I've actually accomplished, because most days I feel like I haven't gotten anything accomplished because there are several big things or several things that I didn't get to in my mental list, and I don't go back and go, well, yeah, you didn't get those done, but what about these other 30 things that you did today? Like, you were still really productive. So it's something that I need to focus on. Okay, this one says, you're nice to have around even when you feel like a potato. So it's a bear hanging out by a tree. You're nice to have around even when you feel like a potato. There's a sound on TikTok that's like, I'm a potato, and that's what I think of anytime I hear the word potato anymore. So I like that one a lot. And this one is, I am sorry if you've heard otherwise, but the truth is you are not at all difficult to love. So I'm dedicating this one to all of you out there who feel like you're hard to love for one reason or another. You're not hard to love. I feel like probably somebody in your life has told you that you are. Somebody's made you feel that way, but that's not true. You're not hard to love. You're perfect just the way you are. So that's the latest Kate. Let me, oh, there we go. Let me put these back in the little envelope so I don't mess them up. The magnet will go on the fridge. I put all these lovely magnets on my fridge. Get back in there. So that's latest Kate, and I have lots of stuff from TLT Cup. So I got my June, my May, and my, yeah, I got my May and my June all at one time because the strawberries were June. So I got a fair bit of stuff. Let me get into these. She's started putting them into these little sort of translucent packets, which I think are just the cutest thing ever. So this is May. Try to hold this so that it will focus on it for you. So this is May. So this is I forget what she called it. It was like scared tempura, terrified tempura. So we have the tempura little shrimps in the bowl of rice, and then we have the little tempura whose face apparently has already been eaten off with the chopsticks. It's super cute and I love it. This was the whole. So I support Gail at the deluxe pin club level, which means that I get the main pin and the smaller extra pin. And some stickers and extra during the month. And I joined that, I upped myself to that level specifically for this set because I needed both. So that was May, and there are stickers that go with this. I got tons of stickers. So, oh, there's a magnet. That's awesome. Okay, so there's a tempura magnet, which is fantastic. And then there's the tempura sticker. And yeah, so I have to put these magnets together. Those are both going on the fridge. I love the magnet. Okay. And then let's see. So then I got a bunch of stuff for June because she put in all kinds of extras. I think because June was Gail's birthday month. So she included a bunch of extras for the pin club. So this is a strawberry cheesecake. And if I hold it back here, can you see it better? A strawberry and a strawberry cheesecake. They're so cute. Excuse me. Hiccups. Super cute. Super cute. So I wish my camera would focus closer up, but so yeah, so that was the main pin club thing. But and pin club always comes with a sticker for the main pin. So there's the sticker. And then the extras, I got a sheet of strawberry stickers, little strawberry stickers. They're super cute. And also a roll of washi tape with terrified fruits on it. I don't know how well you can see that, but there's all kinds of different terrified fruits on the washi tape. I love it. So that's all the niftiness that I got with TLT Cup this month. And I forget. Oh, I think next month is going to be an articulated enamel pin. So it's like a toasted marshmallow and it has little dangly arms. It's so cute. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. So, but that is next month. That's July's, I think. And it's going to be a little bit late because of getting the prototype together for that. So, but I'm very excited. It looks like the cutest thing ever. So yeah, so that's the Happy Mail. Let's talk about whips. So since it's July now, let me do a June Whip Go wrap up. So I met both of my June goals for Whip Go. I unfortunately did not meet my random extra goal of a finish in June. So I had no finishes for June, but let's talk about Dark Queen. So if I have time, if I remember, I'll put in a before picture. But I put in a lot of work on my Dark Queen this month. So even though I didn't get a finish, like a full project finish, I'm gonna count this as a finish for June because I completed basically 2 sections of this, most of 2 sections of this during the month of June. So I feel like that should count as a finish, even though it's only a part finish, it's not a full finish. But at this point, I am unofficially caught up with part 3. So when last we saw our beautiful Dark Queen here, I need to give her a name. When last we saw the Dark Queen, she had no arms. She had little wispy squid things off of her shoulders, and we only had one fish. So that might give you an idea of just how much stitching I did. So I blew my 500 stitches out of the water, which I figured I would. But I think I ended somewhere between somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 stitches on this. It might be around 2,500. I stopped counting after 500. I just know that ultimately I finished part 1, which I had never finished previously. Previously I had only finished part 2, which was this part of her legs and her hips and torso, like the lower part of the bodice and the torso. So that was part 2. I had completely finished part 2 except for back stitching. I have now done the back stitching from part 2. I had only done the one fish from part 1. These fish are massive, y'all. They don't seem that big. These fish are 700 stitches a piece. So this is like 1,500 stitches for 3 fish. That was the first drop. So I had only done the one fish. Now I have done all 3 fish. They have eyes, they have back stitching, they are completely complete. So part 1 is completely complete, part 2 is completely complete, and part 3 is completely complete except for the hand. So there's maybe 100 stitches or so in her hand up there that I have not stitched, and that's because I'm just not ready to move the Q-snap yet. So once I'm ready to move the Q-snap, I will finish her hand. But I knew that there was a bunch of stuff in this particular area that I still needed to do. So so I've left her on the Q-snap here. So yeah, so I'm counting this as a finish because I finished 2 parts, not just one part, during the month of June, and that was a pretty big lift. So I'm pretty proud of myself for that. I was just talking with Rachel and Heike last night. So part 11 has dropped now, just dropped yesterday. And so that completes all of the cross-stitching portion of the project. The next parts are going to be back stitching and beads, and so there are no more cross-stitching parts after part 11. So now that all of the lower tentacle pieces have been released, I'm realizing that I personally am not aesthetically happy with the way that we transition from her hips down into the tentacles. So so the next part is going to be me making lots of customization. Because I'm very much, if she's a cephaloqueen, then she needs, in my opinion, to look like a cephaloqueen and not like a mermaid with tentacles, which is kind of, it tapers here down to where her knees would be if she were a human, and then it flares out slightly, and then the tentacles just like, whew. So it's her silhouette is very much like a mermaid silhouette dress. So it's, you have the hips and it tapers really closely to the knees, and then it flares out slightly, and then poof at the bottom it's just like and for me that's not working. Which is nothing against Erin and Autumn Lane Stitchery. Everybody has their own aesthetic. For me, when I think octopus queen, when I think cephaloqueen, that kind of thing, cephaloqueen would be a squid, or any kind of squishy creature like that. When I think of it, I think more like Ursula from The Little Mermaid. And while obviously she is not as Rubenesque as Ursula, and I'm not going to change her to be that Rubenesque, I don't have any problem with her being that Rubenesque, but that's a lot of redesigning that I'm not trying to do. But I do want her to have a fuller, I want it to be a fuller transition here. I don't want that taper, because I envision, if I were going to create my own octopus, octopus, octomade, or cephalomade, if I were going to create my own, then this silhouette would be more like a ball gown. So it would poof out from her hips, or it would poof out from a drop waist kind of level. So so it should poof out, flare out, like starting here for me, and go wider down there. So redesigning is going to be Some customization is going to be happening. And it's going to be interesting because I have to figure out, I mean, obviously I know the colors because the design already provides the colors for me. I have to figure out how those colors are going to widen out into the silhouette that I'm looking for. So lots of work, lots of work. I mean, there's lots of work for her anyway because somebody just posted, I think there's 27,000 stitches. 27,000 stitches in this chart. And I've only just, you know, just barely broken ground. So there's maybe 9,000 stitches here for what I have already stitched. Yeah. But yeah, so lots of change coming for my Cephala Queen here. But yeah, so that is June's Whip Go goal completely blasted, and that is the last time that Dark Queen appears on my Whip Go board. So if I pull her out again, it will be just because I want to work on her. Though now I'm feeling kind of inspired to make these changes, so I might have to at least get on drawing it out a little bit, because if I don't go ahead and draw it out and kind of figure out how I'm going to manage to do that, then by the time I come back to it, I will have forgotten what my intention was. So, but there's my Dark Queen, and I don't know if y'all have noticed, that's my TLT cup salmon nigiri there. So yeah, so that was a big part of what I worked on before life kind of went wacky. Oops. Just knocked a cord off the table. So yeah, I had done lots and lots of work on that. I was getting ready to transition into other pieces. We got the news about family and have been dealing with that for the last couple of weeks. And then when I got home and got settled, because we're still dealing with stuff, but when we got home and got settled, it was like nearly July. So as a consequence, and I'll do plans and intentions here in a second, so I won't get completely into it right this second because we're still talking about whips. But as a consequence, the other two new starts that I had planned for this month didn't happen. And I didn't think, and I realize you could see it in the background now, I didn't think that I was going to get to yoga corns, but lo and behold, I kind of climbed out of my funk and my inability to pick up stitching, because I'd done a bunch of knitting, but I hadn't done any stitching for a couple of weeks. And I decided, let me go ahead and try to get my goal on yoga corns, because I basically said, my original goal was 500 stitches, but I needed to do back stitching before I could start the second yoga corn. So I was like, okay, 5 hours, or until I get to back to Xing, the X's and stuff like that. And so set my timer and started working on the back stitching for yoga corns. I'll show it to you now. I'll probably insert a picture here because it's not going to focus well enough to see. I did post pictures of this on Instagram. So I got my 5 hours in, which I'm surprised. I didn't think I was going to. And holding this pale stuff up close to my face gives me some color. Makes me look like I actually have color. Okay. But here is my yoga corn. The back stitching is not complete. So this is actually more than 5 hours worth of work. So I timed myself, and about 10 minutes till the 5 hour mark, I still had to finish her tail and a couple of other stitches here. I still had to get the back stitching in her tail, and I still have all of the Kreinik back stitching, and I think there's some white back stitching as well. So there's still a significant amount of back stitching still to be done, but this was about 5.5 hours worth of work. And this is just black back stitching. And I took the advice of several folks, because I think Heike, Rachel, and Michelle all suggested this. On pieces like this, there are some places where the back stitching is 3 strands, some places where it's 2 strands, and some places where it's 1 strand. Rather than going through multiple different times with 1 strand, 2 strand, and 3 strands, I actually just put 1 strand on my needle, and those lines that needed 3 strands, I just went over 3 times. And the ones that needed 2, I went over 2 times. And I think that it's a little bit repetitive for me, so it's a little more frustrating on the back stitching part, but especially for a piece like this, I do think it gives you that sketchy effect that you're really going for, because the stitches aren't necessarily completely, excuse me, 100% overlapped. Sometimes they are further out to one side or the other, and that really gives you that nice kind of sketchy paintbrush kind of quality. So ultimately, I will say this was painful. It was very, very painful. However, I do think the results are worth it. The results are totally worth it. So I do have more back stitching to do on her. I may hold off on that when I go back to this and just start stitching the second one instead of doing the Pride-triotic and stuff. We'll see. We'll see. But she's now she's finished for June, and I have met my whip go goal, so putting her away again. So I still have 2 yoga cords to finish someday. We'll see. But yeah, so I did ultimately meet both of my whip go goals. As you all probably recall, I was going to start in June. I was going to start Relentless. I was going to start Twisted Sampler, the Twisted Rainbow Sampler from Northern Expressions Needlework, and I was also going to start the Trans Pride Unicorn for Transtastic Sal. Now, I have not started my Transtastic Unicorn yet for a number of different reasons. One is time, because stuff came up that I didn't expect. But the biggest reason I've decided to carry that over to July is because I'm trying to think. Crafty Teacher DIYs on Instagram. I believe that's the right name. I think you're a watcher or viewer. So if you are, wave your hand, because I think I've got your Instagram name right. She took the time to do the color conversions from DMC to almond M&M silks, and she posted it on Instagram, and she shared with the class what what her conversion was. And the colors are so beautiful that I decided that I needed to buy those silks. I decided that I had to buy the silks. So I ordered those last week. Actually, I need to check on the order status there. But I've ordered the silks from Almond M&Ms for the silk conversion of that, and so to make trinkets even more fantabulous and fantastic, I'm going to be using silks in addition to some of the sparkly things that I had already purchased, instead of using straight DMC. So because she has to be as fabulous as possible, that requires and deserves some extra special silks. So I have to wait for those to come in before I can get started. So and that is the biggest thing, because I could have gotten the June start if the silks had come in, but they have not come in yet. So I'm still waiting on those. Timing was an issue anyway, so I wasn't stressed about. I wasn't pressed to get those silks in too quickly. So I'm waiting for Ymir to get those together and send them to me, and I'm very, very excited. I'm so excited about that. Speaking of Ymir, over at Almond M&Ms, she has put together a silk pack of a diverse range of skin tones. I think she's gonna release it as a pack and then individually. I could be misspeaking there. Regardless, she's putting together a color collection that is a diverse skin tone collection, and that is so awesome. It's so awesome. So not only can you have diversity in your stitching, but you can have a beautiful product, lovely silks to do that diverse stitching in, and I think that's fantastic. So I am all about it. I'm here for it. I'm very, very happy and excited for Ymir to be sharing that with us. So yeah, I'll be buying those in the future too. But trinkets took precedence, so I only bought trinket silk right now. But yeah, so trinkets will be getting stitched in Ymir's silks, as well as some other fancy sparkly satins and things like that. So that's coming. So as a result of that, I discussed this with Michelle on a live recently. We've decided that Transtastic Sal is going to also be hashtag Transtastic Summer. So you can start the Trans Pride Unicorn anytime you like. Use hashtag Transtastic Summer, because Pride is not limited to just 1 month. And our trans folks and family and friends, oh, there's a hawk flying around. They are magical and fantastic all year round, every single day, and I'm happy to celebrate the wonderfulness that is trans and trans people. I'm happy to celebrate that every single day of the year. So Trans Pride Unicorn will not be limited to June. You will see trinkets at some point in the future, hopefully sometime in July. I can't imagine that I won't get her started in July. So that's what's coming up. Speaking of plans, I put this question to my patrons earlier this week, because I hate the word plans, because it feels very capital P, set in stone. If I say it's a plan, then I'm committed, and if I don't do it, I feel like I failed in some way. So I was looking for a different word, and I got a lot of great suggestions. My favorite one of which was intention, setting an intention. So I think from now on, rather than plans, I'm not going to have plans. I'm going to set intentions, because setting an intention really helps you to focus in on that, and I think it's useful in accomplishing your goals and really getting to your goals. But it's also, I think, more positive and less constrictive than plan. So if I set an intention and then for some reason I can't actually do that thing that I intended to do, then that's okay. I had an intention. It didn't work out. I can continue that intention on. I can decide to drop that intention. It's totally fine. Whereas plans, like, that feels like I missed a meeting or something. Like I put a meeting on my calendar and I missed it. Like I had a goal and I missed it. I failed in some way, and I don't like to set myself up for failures in that way. So I'm no longer making plans. I am setting intentions. So my intentions for July, obviously, are to start trinkets, the Transtastic Unicorn, the Trans Pride Unicorn from Dee's 20 Stitches and Uncanny Kari. And that's one of my biggest intentions for July. I'm also intending to start my Twisted Rainbow Sampler, Don't Get It Twisted, Sal. So a lot of folks have already started that. I am definitely behind the 8 ball on that one, but that's okay, because July is for Pride too, and so is August and September and October. All the months are for Pride. So yeah, those are my 2 biggest intentions. But I also have Whip Go goals for July, and this month's Whip Go goals are much more chill than a lot of my goals, just because the pieces are easier, and one of them is actually a finish. My goal is to finish, but I think that's going to be pretty easy, and that'll hit 2 birds with 1 stone, because I'll hit my Whip Go goal, I'll get a finish for July, and I will feel right with the world. So let's get into the Whip Goes. I forget the numbers already. I think it's box 1 and box 12. And I don't remember which is which. I think box 1 is this one. So this month, we're going back to the Peppermint Purple Sal. This is the 2020 Year of Blackwork Stitch Along. So this is the first Blackwork Stitch Along that Peppermint Purple put out. And I think my goal is 4 or 5 boxes. So I think what I will try to do is... I think my amended goal will actually be to just try to finish this next row, whatever that next row is. I'll try to do the whole row. So that'll be my goal for July for this. And so that's the first one. And then the other one, the other Whip Go Whip work in progress, is to finish this piece. So this is going to say, "Welcome, Tiny Overlord." There's a bit of a story here. So I started this last year for a specific person who was having a baby. I started it before the baby was born. I did not finish it before the baby was born. And we are now a year and 2 days past when the baby was born. So a baby is a year and 2 days old. And also the relationship is not in the same place that it was when I started this. I don't know if that makes sense to y'all, but yeah, so a lot of things have changed since I started this. Um, the baby that it was announcing is now over a year old. The relationship that it was meant for, the friend that it was meant for, we're not in that same place. Relationship wise. And so while I do completely intend to finish this just to get it off my plate and get it out of my whip pile, I don't know that I'm going to fully finish it and gift it the way that I had intended. I may finish it, especially because ultimately I was going to finish welcome at the top, and then I was going to put the baby's name and birth date. But I think what I'm going to do at this point, because I'm less confident about giving it to the person for a lot of different reasons, and because of that, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish it. I'm going to finish welcome, and then I'm going to take it out of the hoop, and I'm just going to let it sit. Certainly somebody I know at some point, some friend, somebody will have a creature, somebody will have something to welcome into their life. I don't know why I'm saying it that way, because I consider 4-footed babies to be babies too. But anyway, fur babies are children too. But certainly someone at some point in my life will have a tiny overlord to welcome. And so I think I'll finish it and I'll save it for when that occurs. And it's mostly just because it's not because I don't think the person deserves it at this point. It's more that we're just not in a place where I feel like that kind of gift is appropriate anymore. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but it's just a thing, you know. I think it would probably still be appreciated, but I'd rather save it for somebody that I'm closer to at this point, where we have a more a closer, more connected relationship, I guess is what I'm saying. So anyway, so I'm gonna finish it. That's my intention. But I probably won't fully finish it or gift it at the moment. I'll just finish it and put it in my finish box. At the end of the year, I will go through my finish box for y'all, because I've gotten to the point in my cross stitching where I actually do finish things. I actually finish projects. I complete them and I take them off their hoops and their Q-snaps and all this sort of stuff. I haven't gotten to the point where I fully finish things. So I literally have a box where everything, all the finishes go to languish. And I'll show that to you at the end of the year. But yeah, so welcome Tiny Overlord. My intention is to finish this piece this week, or this month. So that's an intention. Let's see. Yeah, okay. I lost my train of thought. So I had already talked about when I was going to start. So I do have 2 new starts two new projects that I'm intending to start. I'm actually seriously considering, I'm more than seriously considering, I have a chart called No New Worlds. It's a chart by Art of Designs that she put out sometime last year. I can't remember the specific provenance of the design, but it's essentially the reference or the term No New Worlds. It comes from there's a whole backstory, but the idea behind it is that, you know, when folks celebrate things like Columbus Day and Canada Day and various things like that, it's forgetting or ignoring the fact that there were already nations here when those things happened. Columbus didn't discover America so much as he wandered upon a land that already had had multiple established peoples and cultures. So he didn't discover a new world. He discovered a world that was already here and established. And so that's what we're referring to when we talk about No New Worlds. And I'm considering starting that because I've meant to start it on various points, and I keep planning for a specific meaningful time to start it, and then I miss it for one reason or another. I think I would like to start that on July 4th for a lot of different reasons, and I don't feel like I have the capacity to really to discuss it too much further than that, but for me, I feel like that would be that would be an appropriate thing for me to stitch on July 4th. Yeah. So I have lots of thoughts and feelings about it. I don't know how to put it into words right now, but I've been wanting to start No New Worlds, and I think July 4th would be a great time. If I don't start it July 4th, then probably I will. I'm trying to think. Here in Virginia, I believe that Columbus Day has been officially replaced with Indigenous Peoples Day. So if I don't start No New Worlds on July 4th, I may start it on October 14th. Is it always October? I'll start it on Indigenous Peoples Day. And if I don't start it on Indigenous Peoples Day, I will start it on November 1st, which is the first day of Indigenous Heritage Month here in Virginia, at least, if not in the U.S. I think it's mostly Virginia. I'm not sure. Y'all can tell me. But yeah, I'm gonna start it on one of those states because that matters to me. I could have started it on July 1st, which was Canada Day, or which has previously been celebrated as Canada Day. That would have also been appropriate for July 1st, but I didn't have my shit together, basically. Yeah, so I also have a lot of intentions to try and finish the model piece that I'm working on this month. We'll see if that happens. I have a lot of motivation. I've been working on it a lot in the last couple of days, and I'm hoping to get lots and lots of work in on it before I head out on my trip this week. But yeah, I would like to go ahead and get that finished and get that shipped off so that is off of my plate. So I think that's all the intentions. That's all the specific ones anyway. I know that Michelle is planning on, I don't know if she's still intending to do this in July, but she had found a flag pattern. I can't remember who it's by, but it was an American flag, and she is going to convert that to a pride flag and stitch that. I think that's going to be her Pride-triotic piece. Excuse me. I get hiccups randomly. So I think she's going to do that as her Pride-triotic piece. So hashtag Pride-triotic. But yeah. So I might do something like that as well. I don't think I'm going to do the same chart because I think the chart that she has is large. And I'm not trying to do a large flag. but I would like to do, I would like to stitch a pride flag in July, or at least start one. So we'll see. That might also be an intention, but I'll figure that out later in the month. I have a lot of stuff already set to go. So that's something that, oh, there's a kitty. I haven't seen that kitty. It's a new kitty. That's an outside kitty, by the way. So it's a white fluffy cat, and she's got a couple of patches of like calico coloring, and she has a collar. So she's somebody's baby. But yeah, I haven't seen her before. I'm assuming it's a her. Might not be a her. It looks female. She looks prissy. That's why. Okay, so yeah, so that's the intentions. Those are the intentions I am setting for July. And of course, you know, they will evolve and I will tell you about them as we go on. So let's talk about some purchases. I have a lot because it's been a couple of weeks, so a lot of stuff has come in. I want to tell you about the most exciting one first. So a while ago, D at D's 20 Stitches and or D20 Stitches, D's 20, y'all know. I'll try to link them in the at least link the their Instagram in my my profile here. But D at D's 20 Stitches is the one who has worked with Uncanny Kari to create the Trans Pride unicorn. And they also work together to create a needle minder, and it's a fantastic needle minder. So it says a luxury. Hopefully you can see it. I'll hold it up close, but that's going to be all blurry. Like my face is not blurry, but this is blurry. I don't know. So it says a luxury few can afford. I'll hold it farther back here so that hopefully you can see. A luxury few can afford. So this is meant to go with the Trans Pride unicorn. I am lovingly calling my Trans Pride unicorn Trinkets because I decided that's what her name is. She's fabulous, and her name is Trinkets. And so I saw this pop up on Dee's Instagram, and I was like, I must have that. I immediately bought it, and then I shared it to all of y'all so that you could buy it because they were very, very limited, and I was like, I need to make sure that I get mine. So I ordered this, I received it, it's fabulous. The really fun part was that I didn't just get the needle minder. So Dee like packed the package full of all kinds of things. So there are candies. I got some candies. There's a pineapple and a lemon candy. There's all these puffy heart stickers. So some of them are like prismatic, holographic, and some of them are glittery. But there's all these puffy stickers in different sizes. And there's all kinds of other stickers. So there's this divine sticker that's fabulous. There's way to go and amazing and sweet stickers. So there's a hummingbird and a bee and a butterfly. There's all those stickers. There's these sparkly unicorn stickers. All the stickers are so cute. And they each sent a little postcard. So this is from Kari. And I'm sure that's her original artwork. So that's a little postcard from her. And then Dee sent me Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. And there's a very sweet message on the back of this, and I really, really appreciate it. And it basically sums up as me having made 2 queer Canadian stitching friends for life, and I have to say, Dee, I'm happy to have queer Canadian stitching friends for life. You've also made a queer American stitching friend for life, both of you. So I appreciate all of the work that y'all have put into making the Trans Pride unicorn. It's a fabulous piece. I can't wait to get started on it, and thank you so much for the kind note. I really, really appreciate it. So yeah, it's very. It means a lot to me. But yeah, so I love that. So I got all of that in the package with my needle minder, and it was very, very exciting. And I'm sad I didn't get a chance to show it to you earlier. But yeah, so I think my patrons got a sneak preview of that when it first came in. And Loki is trying to tear up my pants. What are you doing? He has this habit of coming up to me and like reaching up with his claws, and so he grabbed onto my pants and then his claws got stuck. So yeah, thank you so much, Dee. I appreciate all the extra little goodies. Love it. Thank you so much. So yeah, that was the best part of my purchases. I also purchased, and this is not a stitchy company, but this is a company that I've purchased things from before. It's called lookhuman.com. And they do lots of I don't know, like queer themed things, and LGBTQIA 2S plus, all kinds of things. So my I don't know if y'all remember, but my Bi Pride dragon is a pin that I purchased from Look Human. So they have dragons in all the different pride colors. They have t-shirts of dragons and other things in all the different pride colors. They have mugs. They have all kinds of different things. So there were a couple of t-shirts I needed to buy, which I still haven't received. And they're kind of an inside joke with me and Adam, so I can't wait for them to arrive because I want him to, I got to show them to him. But part of what I ordered with the t-shirts was this enamel pin that is all-inclusive pride. Hopefully you can see it. So the words are all-inclusive pride, and then it's a pride heart that has the inclusive flag. So it's got the trans and the diversity stripes as well as the rainbow stripes. And so yeah, because my pride is all-inclusive. So I'm not just about the LGBT, it's the LGBTQIA 2S plus, because we love all the queerness here. That's what we love. We love all of the peoples and all of the genders and all of the sexualities and non-sexualities and the non-genders and everything. We love everybody. You're all fabulous. Yeah, so that is currently a pin. It's going to be a needle minder. But yeah, I might when I get to a point that I'm going to stitch a pride flag, that will probably be my needle minder for that. So now stitchy purchases. Let's do floss first. I have a lot of floss this time. So first, because we're still wrapping up, we're not wrapping up Pride because we're still in Pride. It's Pride month still. July is also Pride month. Let me show you my Leo and Roxy flosses from Evertotes. So Leo and Roxy put together a Pride set for June, and I purchased it because of course I did. So so I have all these gorgeous Pride flosses. Oh my gosh. It's a gorgeous, fabulous rainbow. Let me try to spread these out here. There's a whole lot of colors. Very, very nice. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So we have all these fabulous colors. And also we have the inclusive Pride floss tags, which is great. So I'll go through them one by one. This is charcoal. So that's the black. We have this is the red color. It's called Cheeky. I'm just gonna kind of hold them in front of my face because that helps to balance the color a little bit. Oh, I went backwards. Okay. I knew something was wrong. Okay. So we did chart. Let's go backwards. Okay. So this is Hickory. This is a brown. Diversity brown. I shouldn't say diversity brown, but that is the brown for the Pride flag. And then our blue is Winterscape. So that's part of the Trans Pride. Winterscape. Very nice. And then we've got the white stripe is Weathered White. It's a very nice bright white. And the pink is Tickled Pink. Very nice. It's almost Jessie colored. I hope nobody's offended when I say Jessie colored. I just know that I'm like super pale, so it's like I would not have chosen this skin tone if I'd had an option, trust me. Okay, so let's see. Wisteria. It's coming off really like indigo blue, but it's closer to a purple, so that's Wisteria. This is Planetarium, which looks a little black, but it's really a dark navy. You can kind of see it right there. And Dark Grassy. That's a gorgeous vibrant green. I love that. You've got our yellow, which is Sunflower. That is very, very nice. Nice sunny yellow. And our orange is Pumpkin Up the Jam. Pumpkin Up the Jam. That's a really great orange. And then again our red, because I already did that, but we'll show it to you again. So there's Cheeky again. That's the red. So these are gorgeous, fabulous rainbow colors. I love the fact that it's the all-inclusive Pride colors. So you have all the different things. So if you purchase this and you're still trying to do Trans Pride Unicorn, you can certainly use the blue, white, and pink in this for your Trans Pride Unicorn. Those are going to be perfectly fantastic colors. If you've bought this set and you want to use it instead of DMC, you might need to buy a couple extras of those colors for Trans Pride Unicorn because Trinkets is quite large, requires quite a few skeins of floss. But I love those. Those are fantastic. Thank you so much, Caroline, for working with Leo and Roxy. And thank you, Leo and Roxy, for dyeing those. So I'm very, very happy about those. Very excited. I also, for the first time ever, I was able to obtain some Victorian motto threads. So I've seen these from various folks for ages now, especially because Rachel has her Victorian motto shipped here, and I've been kind of jealous about the colors because some of these are fantastic. But I also know that Victorian motto, Nancy, I believe, is the woman behind Victorian motto. She's been struggling with keeping up with the demand and everything because of supply chain issues and all the things. I think she's been having some personal struggles as well, but we all know everybody's been struggling because of COVID and supply chain and all that sort of stuff. So she's been struggling. I haven't tried joining the club because for, you know, not only did I not want to add to her frustrations and her workload and that sort of thing, but I just figured it wasn't worth it if I was going to have to wait 6 months for anything to show up anyway. But Victoria Motto has now decided to start selling sets on Etsy and on eBay. So rather than signing up for the club and waiting for those to ship, she's actually going to set them up as, I think the monthly club is going to become a pre-order on the Etsy store. And our power just went out. Okay, well I have battery on the camera at least, but you can see the lights have gone out. I wonder how long that's going to last. So yeah, I don't know when I'll get this uploaded because, yeah. So, okay. Well, anyway, let's just keep filming. So I finally got some Victoria Motto threads. Wacky days, y'all. Wacky days. And what I purchased, she actually has some prefab, not prefab. She has some already grouped collections that you can purchase, and what I purchased was the variegated collection. So hopefully the light is going to be enough. Look at how many. I think there's like, I forget, there's 10 or 12. And these are generous hanks of thread. These are like really, I think she does, how much? It doesn't say. I'd have to look at the listing, but I think these are probably 10 yards or more. So these are really generous. That's the whole pack together. And has she named these? Yeah. So we have Woodland Masterpiece, which is a nice variegated brown. We have Shades of Sable, which is a darker, less red brown. I apologize for the light. I can't do anything about it at this point, but I'm just going to keep filming. We have Golden Sandstone, which is a yellower brown. So these are some nice variegated neutrals in varying kinds of shades. We have Cranberry Rainbow. That's gorgeous. Pinky red. We have Cotton Candy, which is a very nice variegated, bright pink. We have Glorious Sunset. That's going to be a fantastic Halloween color. I love that orange. We have Granny's Green Apples. Another great color for Halloween. It's Baby Yoda colored. My Tapestry, which is a fantastic blue purple, like a royal blue and purple mixture. It's mostly coming off as royal blue, but it's really nicely variegated. We have Blue Sampler, and this is like a navy blue. We have Victorian Grays, which are exactly what you would think they are. And we have Ruby Wine, which is, it's coming off as black, but it's actually a really deep burgundy maroon kind of color, like super dark red wine. And lastly, we have Adobe Adventure, which is another shade of brown, which is not coming off at all because I have no light. But there you go. So those are the Victorian Mottos. I believe that this variegated collection is still available in their Etsy shop, and it's Victorian Motto, M-O-T-T-O. I'll try to remember to link them. But yeah, so you can purchase their stuff on Etsy now, which for me is really nice because generally speaking, their stuff will be ready to ship kind of stuff versus waiting on it to be dyed. Now the silk or the floss of the month is a separate thing. I don't have a lot of information about that. The information I have is kind of secondhand. So you'll want to check out their Etsy shop or contact them. Probably just check out the Etsy shop directly to get more details about that. But my understanding is that she's going to set up a pre-order for the floss of the month, and then you'll go and purchase that, and then she'll dye those to order. But I think a lot of the other collections are ready to ship stuff, which is nice. I like that. So um, let's see. I think actually, because I'm over an hour already, and because I have no lights and no power, I think I'm actually going to go ahead and sign off now, because I'm realizing after trying to show you those flosses that trying to show you the additional flosses and the fabrics that I have is not going to go so well, because the lighting is not great. So I'm going to save the rest of my purchases until next Flosstube, which will be 2 weeks from today, or 2 weeks from Friday, July 2nd. I'm not sure. This might not get posted until tomorrow. We'll have to see how long the power is going to be out. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off for today. I hope you have enjoyed what I've had to share with you. As a reminder, next week I'll have non-standard videos, we'll call them, because I won't be able to film a new knitcast or a new Flosstube, but I'll have other stuff for you to watch in their place. So I'll still post something on Wednesday and something on Friday. If I can, I'll also post a video on Monday as well for you to watch. In the meantime, I hope you are having the best day, week, weekend that is available to you, and I hope that you're enjoying I just hope that you're having the best time that is available to you. And always remember to stay hydrated, make sure to take all the meds that you need to take, and remember that you are enough. And I will see you again next time.